I made a video talking about how young men were being alienated, and some of these comments just don't make a lot of sense. Because the implication of this comment is that the young men that I was talking about, the 16 to 22-year-olds, are somehow responsible for the marginalization of other people. And comments and discussions like this are in and of itself why those young men get pushed into the alt-right pipeline. The point that I was making is that a lot of these young men, a lot of these children, because, come on, even as a 30-something-year-old, when I look at an 18-year-old, I don't consider them an adult, even though they might be legally an adult. They're not an adult. They're still kids. They're still learning about the world. So when we're talking about empathizing with these young people and how they are struggling and how they are being alienated, this type of conversation and dialogue is what alienates them, because we are putting the onus on these people who have not yet voted and not yet been part of society, haven't worked a job, haven't graduated from university, and we're putting the onus on them. They don't even understand what's wrong with the world. We're still trying to inform them. We're still trying to help them grow. You can say men created this system, but was that 17, 18, 19-year-old boy responsible for any of that? Like, is that the argument that you use when you teach little white kids about slavery? And just for perspective, not all white people had ancestors who were slave owners. My ancestors lived in a colony. They were farmers who consistently had to farm food for other empires. And so when you tell somebody this, especially at a young age, they don't really have the understanding of how systemic oppression works and how systemic racism works. So when you tell them that they are responsible for all these other woes in the world, it obviously pushes them away. So when I come from the progressive leftist perspective, saying that we need to show empathy to young people so we don't push them into the alt-right pipeline, this is the type of comments that I'm talking about that push young men into the alt-right pipeline. Because men can't be the ones leading and teaching when they are 18 years old and don't know any better. The point of the video was about how young men need to be shown empathy so that they can learn, and instead of pushing them away, we bring them in. And what do you want to do? You want to say it's their fault and their responsibility to fix a system that they were not alive for and their ancestors might not have been part of. This is what everyone means when people say the left eats itself. And I guarantee you that you did not mean for it to come off this way, but this is how it came off. And I'm sorry that I'm getting heated here, but I'm really hoping that you understand through the emotions that I am showing you that the way that we are engaging and behaving in these conversations with these young men, these 16 to 22, even 25-year-olds, pushing them away and blaming them is not going to make the problem any better. It's going to make it worse. You can call them fragile. You can say that it is their responsibility, but that is really not understanding the humanity behind these kids who have done nothing to incur this hate. Just like how people of minority communities did nothing to incur racism, just like how women did nothing to incur all of the hateful misogyny that comes their way. These young men did nothing to incur your hate.